Welcome to the channel, Mac Dr. Built. Start by saying I thanks and appreciate every single one of you has subscribed, like, and comment. I thank you for your support. Boys, so we picking up on the CRX. There's some unfinished business that I have to do. We have the spare donor floor from a CRX that we cut a minute ago. We done the driver's side, the entire whole pan. And this one, we don't have to replace the whole pan. This is a spot that I spotted after I took out the sound designating sound fabric that comes here, the hard material like this, boys. So after taking that out, I find a couple spots. Nothing to it. We have the floor. I don't have to do the whole pan, so I want to save as much as I can. So I'm gonna estimate how much I have to cut. I have to remove this plate. Be careful with this wire. We're gonna estimate what we need. Cut and trim it here so that we can start cutting on the floor and remove the part that we need, which is this whole section here. This is multi-layer. So yeah, real quick, this is not just one floor. This is the bottom of your floor, what holds it together. So it's 1, 2, 3, this little 4 layers that made part of the chassis. The floor itself is 2 units. The bottom part that got connected to the top. So this is not gonna be so easy separating the two. I have to grind down some things, but we have to cut down this section so that we could fit it there and replace it. So it's gonna be quite a bit. I figured I'd show you guys. Like I said, I had this for like almost a year for this particular build, for when we needed parts for it, and we pretty much got it. This is the old record panel from this floor, so it's no good. The floor itself is what we were focusing on, and we have. So, all right. Like I said, this is the donor. Perfect condition, solid, good OEM CRX floor. They're gonna go right over here, and we're gonna take care of this spot. So I'm gonna start by removing that shield, making some space, estimate whereabouts I'm gonna start cutting my layers slowly, little by little, and we'll start cutting over there. Let's get it. Right, boys, so I removed the plate that hides the ECU. I had to remove the ECU, so when I cut here, there's no chances of any sparks of any kind. Plus, I want to see how deep we have to go. So, again, this is that detonating sound. Factory shit that comes on, that hides everything. So, I'll just show you guys real quick. So, nothing much. We pretty much have all the way to here. So, I should be able to just cut it here as less possible, so that I could mount it right back. So I sit down over there and cut it. I want to cut off the section that's back here first, so that I could have extra over there until I have a perfect fitment here. For now, I'm just gonna remove these pieces. Being the year, the condition, not too bad. We'll remember that side, and look at how it's looking now. So yeah, this is like the last little puzzle pieces to the puzzle on the SI CRX build. The floor pan replacement, quarter panel repairs, rocket panel repairs and installation. We still got a little bit minor stuff like ground effect things that I want to work on. Alright, make sure a couple things is off the way. That's pretty much all the clearance that I need. I'm gonna start estimating whereabouts I need to cut here, exactly how much I have over there before I start going crazy and cutting. But we are getting rid of this section, probably up to here, which we got that drain hole over here. Pause. If you guys see, that area and this one was bad, so I'm gonna have to, when I cut this, cut a little extra rather than the floor, maybe the wall itself, so I have the wall to attach to the CRX in case this is all gone, which I assume it is. This is that crap we're talking about. We gotta take off and pretty much cut OEM, like OEM. You see where we're supposed to be replaced. I got a little extra in case I needed it, which that little bit, the rusted over there, might need this gap, this extra here, so I'm gonna leave it. That's why it's important to cut that first. If I could get in one piece, trace it, put it here, see how much I have, cut the extra here, and I start placing it over there. It's gonna be a little bit of cutting because, like I said, it's two layers, the front and the back pause. So gonna little bit of going back and forth. But I'm showing this to you guys for those of you guys that go into a junkyard one day and cutting a floor pan replacement, so you have an idea how to cut and maybe so much or whatnot. Like, best idea is to have a whole piece like this, but when you have it for yourself, if you don't need to replace the whole floor, just cut the section that you need. If you need to replace the whole floor, by any means, cut a whole floor side. If you don't got no floor, you might have to need to cut the whole floor itself and replace it. That's another story. But this one, we're doing partial repairs on the floor. So I want to get it ready, clean that up a little bit more before we start doing cutting. So that when we trade the new piece, we should be pretty accurate. Let's get it. All right, boys. I done cleaned up the pan a little bit just to show you guys. All right, this is the two metals OEM. This is your floor that goes up to the firewall and your floor pan. So I cut extra, obviously, just in case. I'm gonna leave this extra, like I said, just because I think it might be ratted out a little bit more than this past this line, so I have it. But I took off some of that crap out. They put from factory to high, which is like a seam seal, pretty much to cover the seams. But you guys see the metal, it's in great condition. We're gonna cut right about through here. So this part that was kind of damaged, I'm not worried about it because I'm gonna probably use like about this much of it, or all the way like this, all the way to here. So when I show you guys, this is all that material that came out of it, which is good. The factory did that, but it's a bad thing because it hides it too. So after 25 years, what do you expect? So with that being clean, this over here removed, now we see exactly the damage to the stand and what we have to do. So yeah, I'm gonna try to not go all the way up in this way, probably go like right around here, as much here. Again, remember we have a little extra in this side, so if I have to add, that'll be all right, but we need this whole section over here. Gonna be a little bit hard to cut, but we'll start cutting sections at a time until we get it. So let's get it. All right, I done vacuum it a little bit, got the debris out as much as I can. Then my outlining, when I need to start doing my cuts, I have to be small cut, little by little, have to be careful. So I'm gonna get to it. Let's get it. All right, so we cut in sections, as you guys see. Last thing you want to do is cut this part. This is where the floor is gonna rest. So we're saving the floor, we're not fully replacing it. Cutting out most of the rods, we got the piece right there. So I gotta clean it up. Figured I'd show you guys that I had to do like several release cuts. I'm gonna have to like spot, drill each spot to get this out, cut it out, whatever I have to for when I place the new piece. However, I don't want to go too much, so I'm cleaning what I have to here. Now that I got my pieces there, so what I need over there, I'm gonna start tracing over there once I clean this up a little bit, so we can start cutting over there a little bit and trying to get the new replacement piece that we need for this floor. But so far so good. Let's get it. This is the pieces that I cut off, showing you guys how much it was missing from the floor that was rotted. All this is gone. You guys see? So I have the extra over here. I'm gonna cut a little extra pass this way. So I have extra over there. Cut about this high up. The side, so this wall I'm saving on this side. Rather than just cut straight here, I'm gonna cut this side of the wall as well to save it. And some of the extra, so in case I need over there when I clean it, I have the extra. And if I have a little gap, I could just metal patch it and it'll be good. But so far so good. Start cutting over here. All right, boys, this is the best I could dissect that part. If that's a word that you could use for this, we could using it. Exactly what I said I was gonna do. Extra on this top, all around. I showed you guys how much it was rotted before. I saved the wall because it was probably rotted on this piece. So we want to attach this to the new piece. And we cut extra past the point that we needed. Also extra on the side, which I'm gonna trim down this way. I wanted to have extra. So this part, it will go over there. Now I have to eliminate this part, which this is this right here. No sense in cutting this because we got it OEM, is in good condition. So again, I gotta dissect this part, getting rid of it, because it's gonna be hitting in that part. It's gonna go right over here like it goes flush, which will be able to clean that side up, clean all the edges, and attempt to throw that floor pan in there. So I wanted to show you guys what it looks like. So real quick off camera, I'll with you guys real quick. I'm gonna try to dissect this part out of here so it falls in its place and we could start measuring things. We also gotta like eliminate these extra metals, but that's what I wanted to show you. Pretty neat how a car is built. It's not really that strong, but layers built together certain ways makes it together. What do we see now? Overlap metals. Simple as that. That's what makes the chassis. But this is part of the floor. This is what the rackers inside look like. So just to show you guys the inside of a racker panel on a CRX look like. Slash floor. This goes for EGs and EKs, so no different. But yeah, I still want to save out of here the rear end section of the floor, just in case I do need it. I'm still doing some work. I'm pretty sure I only needed this part, but being that I have the floor, this is a one-time shot. I don't need nothing from this section no more. The rear section, I might save it just for a raining day in the future. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna dissect that part section of the chassis, eliminate it, so we could sort of test fit it and see how we looking like. Let's get it. Well, boys, that's the only part that it sucks. Keeping up with your discs. Go through a lot of them, but so far, started to slice it little by little until I get exactly what I need to clean up. So I gotta go to the basement, see if I find a couple more discs, and clean this new piece up. Let's get it. Well, you could tell change of seasons here, boys. 5-inch change, big difference. Already doing my challenges with no garage and the co by any means. All right, I cut that spine section off of it. Obviously, this video is gonna be a parts too, but just to show you guys my idea. All right, so it's gonna go something like this, just like that. I have to clean a little bit more on the bottom. I have to clean around in the corners little by little because there's gaps from being rotted sort of over here, so that could have a perfect fitment. But it's the OEM floor pan with the drain holes. Everything is gonna be good money. I still got it trimmed down here. I wanted to have extra again. You always want to trim extra, so in case you're short where you're working, you could compensate around. So that's what I did. The side of the wall, I saved it. Like I said, so this is gonna mount to here. Yeah, remember it was a big gap over here. So all that is gonna be sealed. Trying to do this the proper way. This is my way of doing it. By the time we sand this down, we'll spot this around, fill it in. It's gonna look OEM, and it's gonna be nice and good condition. I didn't want to butcher the whole floor, so that's why I did that section, obviously. But yeah, this is looking good. It takes time, and yeah, taking advantage before it gets colder and it starts snowing a little bit more. But yeah, it's pretty much how we dissect a floor pan to replace in a car, whether it's a section, a whole floor. Take your time, cut extra, always on your extra part. Cut smaller sections when you cut it like I did. You can't just really cut like one juicy section because you would mess up, like obviously you've seen the main rail. So you have to like cut little sections until you cleaned up and you get to what you want. Trying to cut less all the time. Well, you could tell change of seasons here, boys. 5-inch change, big difference. Already doing my challenges with no garage and the co by any means. All right, I cut that spine section off of it. Obviously, this video is gonna be a parts too, but just to show you guys my idea. Alright, so it's gonna go something like this, just like that. I have to clean a little bit more on the bottom. I have to clean around in the corners little by little because there's gaps from being rotted sort of over here, so that could have a perfect fitment. But it's the OEM floor pan with the drain holes. Everything is gonna be good money. I still got it trimmed down here. I wanted to have extra again. You always want to trim extra, so in case you're short where you're working, you could compensate around. So that's what I did. The side of the wall, I saved it. Like I said, so this is gonna mount to here. Yeah, remember it was a big gap over here. So all that is gonna be sealed. Trying to do this the proper way. This is my way of doing it. By the time we sand this down, we'll spot this around, fill it in. It's gonna look OEM, and it's gonna be nice and good condition. I didn't want to butcher the whole floor, so that's why I did that section, obviously. But yeah, this is looking good. It takes time, and yeah, taking advantage before it gets colder and it starts snowing a little bit more. But yeah, it's pretty much how we dissect a floor pan to replace in a car, whether it's a section, a whole floor. Take your time, cut extra, always on your extra par. Cut smaller sections when you cut it like I did. You can't just really cut like one juicy section because you would mess up, like obviously you've seen the main rail. So you have to like cut little sections until you cleaned up and you get to what you want. Trying to cut less all the time. And you guys, you do your cut smaller pieces, smaller sections at a time, even if you have to cut more. But you don't want to cut like one time big and then you got too much, so you cut like little sections at a time until you get your fitment. You get your fitment on what you want, whether cleaning up or fitting the replacement piece until you get it bit to look but yeah, this is looking good. I got the drain plug for here, so that goes just like that. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll have all this trimmed down already. We'll have it pop rivet in place. I'll show you guys how I do it real quick. We'll spot weld it. We'll do the body work like we did over here. Fiberglass it all around, seam seal it. And in the bottom, if we have to do a little bit, we'll do that as well. But the CRX floor is looking money. This was the last piece that I have to do to this floor pan replacement. If you remember, I did the whole section. It was Flickstone. That's looking brand new. So this side, when I took the detonating sound rock that it had material on it, with this cover that we had to fix this. So being that I have the floor still from this section, that's what we're doing. So why not restore the correct way? It's an OEM floor, same. Every groove is gonna match. It's gonna look just as good as the other side. But yeah, things are looking good. I'm gonna start wrapping things up here. I feel like it's sprinkling a little bit. It's getting darker. By the time I put things away, it's gonna be so dark. Not like it used to be when I have the garage here and the car pot. The lights used to hold me in the nighttime. I literally have no lights now, so I cannot see out here once it gets dark like we did over here. But we put in the work, boys. First big challenge without a garage in the cold, like I should, like most people do. This is something that I wanted to show in case that somebody goes to a junkyard, and if you get a sawzall and you cut a floor, so you have an idea how we do these kind of jobs, what to do about it, how much you gotta cut, how much extra, how much you don't need to cut. You know, every little bit of detail that I could put out there when it comes to job repairs like this, I'm gonna put them, because not too many people do this type of job that I do. A lot of people could put bando, don't get me wrong. Anybody could just sand, anybody could prime. But when it comes to like metal repair, chassis repair, customization, custom fabrication, not too many people do and put the gems like I do. And I'm just simply paying it forward, doing my due diligence. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap things up here. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next episode, part 2, on the passenger floor pan repair on the 91 CRX SI. With that being said, I thank you all for watching. Stay tuned till the next time. Peace.